welcome to GC360, your source for the latest news and stories from the heart of our community and beyond. I'm Madelyn Ross, and we have a packed show for you today.
And I'm Haley Tucker. Whether you're a student, faculty member, or just someone interested in what's happening in our community, GC360 is here to keep you informed and engaged. Coming up, the school year is just beginning, and if you're looking to live off campus, it's time to sign a lease.
With the new year comes new parking protocols. Whether you're students or faculty, you'll want to know the deal before you pull in.
And a local spot in downtown Milledgeville is pouring more than just sweet tea, they're overflowing with charm. All this and more after the break.
Washington, D.C. has entered a government shutdown for the foreseeable future after lawmakers deadlocked and have missed the deadline for government funding. On a short-term funding measure that the Republicans suggested, Democrats had some input they wanted to be considered. Neither party has budged on their stance. During this shutdown, government employees will not be paid. However, the U.S. Postal Service will not be affected. On September 30th, Donald Trump threatened Democrats with lasting effects of the shutdown, saying, quote, "We can do things during the shutdown that are irreversible, that are bad for them and irreversible by them, like cutting vast numbers of people out, cutting things that they like, cutting programs that they like." A Senate Majority Leader has stated that the bipartisan talks are happening, but a reopening of the government this weekend is not likely. Make sure to stay updated with us here on GC360.
With class sizes growing and prices raising, housing in Milledgeville is more competitive than ever. Renters are learning they need to start early on their lease signing process. Dinah Welsh has a closer look for students trying to find their home away from home.
It's only September, but leasing for next year's housing is already in full swing here at Georgia College. Off-campus apartments like Prospect, Magnolia, and Arcadia are beginning to reach out to residents to start the signing and re-signing process. I sat down with Erin Young, an office employee from Magnolia Apartments, who explained what students should expect and know in the leasing process.
Our cost is going up on October 1st, so we open it up to our current residents first, just to give them that opportunity to sign at a lower rate. And then once October 1st hits, that opens to the public, that's going to be a higher rate. And so if they don't sign at a certain point, they could miss out on an opportunity of living here. It's first come, first serve. Just because you live here currently doesn't mean that you automatically have a spot for next year.
The leasing process can be stressful. Sahar, an employee from Prospect Apartments, shares how both parents and students are reacting to it.
The parents are more like, why is it so abruptly early and stuff? And then I've just gotten that vibe from freshmen, or just how early the process is with new residents, that they're just scrambling to find roommates so that they can sign with, so they're not stuck with random people.
Erin shares the most common questions she hears from students and parents.
Our biggest question is, what are your rates? So after that, it would be what's included in that rate. So as far as our rates, everything is included in that monthly cost. Only additional fees are going to be pet fees that are optional. But other than that, utilities, Wi-Fi, everything is included in our prices.
Sahar shares what steps students can take to get started with the leasing process.
So we have a rent tier system. So the quicker you sign, the better your rent is. For our renewals, there's specific spots for them to sign at their current rate. New residents have a starting rate of a higher number, just because their current residents have that ability to sign for what they currently pay, but it does go up every year just because we need to increase our revenue.
Whether you're a first-time freshman or a returning student, knowing how leasing works can make things much easier. Reporting for GC360, I'm Dinah Welch.
From new permit requirements to regulated lots, GCSU is revving up their parking policies for the school year. Stay informed about changes before you find yourself in the wrong spot or with a ticket. Tori Siegel has the latest on these changes.
It's no secret that trying to find a parking spot in Milledgeville is not an easy task. Between students at Georgia College, workers, and everyday pedestrians, parking spots get filled up very quickly. Parking has been a problem at GCSU for years, leading GCSU's Parking and Transportation Services to change the entire system. This included employee-specific lots, student-specific lots, and students now having to pay for parking permits, as well as employees. The system was met with a lot of backlash from students, so I sat down with Matthew Terry, an Associate Director of Student Services, to find out why these changes were made.
So we needed to change it out of necessity, mainly because we have more students, we have more staff, we have more faculty. Georgia College is a very popular place right now. So we needed to make sure that we can accommodate not only our current student population, but also as we continue to potentially grow and our classes continue to advance, so our first year class becoming our second year class, third year class. So we want to make sure that we have this parking plan that not only works for our current campus, but also is ready to handle whatever the future may hold.
Of course, there are still many commuter students who drive to school, so I asked Chloe Jones how the new parking changes affected her.
I honestly am not a fan of the new parking system. I like the old one more. I just think that just applying for this one was really stressful, and even I don't like parking on Irwin Street because I feel like the bus is already pretty much full, and so you're not guaranteed, so you have to walk. And as someone who has an 8 a.m. and does commute an hour, that's really stressful for me.
For more information on parking services, go to www.gcsu.edu/auxiliary services/parking and transportation. Reporting for GC360, I am Tori Siegel.
What makes a local business the place to be is a welcoming atmosphere, community ties, and tea. My favorite sweet tea is a local spot, known for its diverse product options and friendly staff. Whether you're a first-time sipper or a regular, this cozy spot is for everyone. Elijah Bradley has a story to quench your thirst.
In the South, we know two things: Southern hospitality and sweet tea. And here, in downtown Milledgeville, there's one place that excels in both.
We are my favorite sweet tea with a twist. And the twist is food, the menu, the experience, the vibe.
My favorite sweet tea started with refining a classic Southern beverage and quickly grew into a business of catering to others.
It started off with the tea originally. The twist is still in the tea, but prior to us getting this location, my favorite sweet tea with a twist, people drink it, they like, oh, I like this. We like, that's the twist.
But founder and manager JT is looking to provide the community with more than just an excellent meal. Student experience and growth are on the front burner as well.
What we provide here is opportunities, not just a fast carry-out food restaurant, but we also have opportunities for students who are looking to experience what it's like to work in the fast food restaurant business.
And while the opportunity for college students is clear, relationships with students is the key ingredient.
We get a one-on-one, intimate, exclusive rapport with the students.
And this special bond stretches out farther than just the students, but with the entirety of Milledgeville as well.
So it means a lot for us, a blessing to be here amongst other businesses and giving the community, a choice, a variety of music, an experience.
Community is the true name of the game for this restaurant.
So come on down, and we're serving you all with a smile as well. I would love to see your face in the place.
Serving the community with style, fellowship, and the key ingredient, love, is what my favorite sweet tea does on a daily basis. I'm Elijah Bradley with GC360, and that's the T in Milledgeville.
Coming up after the break, GCSU is turning a new page. Literally, student engagement hosted the Scholastic Book Fair in the Donahue Lounge.
The Marketing Club is bringing career advice straight to campus. Guest speaker Alice James shared her insider tips, all this and more after the break.
I'm Eric Griffiths. I am the interim chair of the Department of Theater and Dance. Our general mission, of course, is teaching theater artists, actors, designers, technicians. Of course, students will specialize in certain areas, but they will know if an actor leaves here and that is their goal is to perform, they will also know how to hang a light. They will know how to sew a button on a costume. They have these other skills. So we offer kind of a mix of the soft skills and the hard skills for doing the work. Our goal is to create a well-rounded theater artist that knows a little bit about everything that goes into producing theater.
The Scholastic Book Fair has always been a reader's paradise. Offering a variety of books, journals, and fun school supplies, the Donahue Lounge gave the students the opportunity to reminisce in the childhood joy of reading. Reporter Josh Galiff is in studio to tell us more.
Thank you, Natalie. 2 weeks ago, the Scholastic Book Fair made its college comeback and took campus by storm in Donahue Lounge. I interviewed Sarah Goody-Goodelman, who collaborated with Scholastic to bring the fair to our school.
So I will say there are two impacts that having the book fair on campus was our goal. So our goal was to partner with our nonprofit on campus called Communities in Schools. Any funds raised during the fair, we are able to purchase merchandise, books, accessories for that nonprofit on campus to help them fill their classroom. Also, too, the book fair, it was students helping students, so we were able to put $600, which was raised by the book fair by students, into the student emergency fund for any student on campus that may need a little help when it comes to money when times are hard.
Goody was able to shed light on the fact that having the book fair on campus was not only a win for students, but a win for the surrounding communities. Customers even had the chance to donate funds to share the fair with less funded schools across the country.
So in total, our total dollars raised was $5,247.65. When I was working with the Scholastic Book Fair rep, she mentioned that this is the first time she's ever done a book fair at a college. And I said, well, girl, we're in the same boat, so here we go. And I had a follow-up phone call with her, and it was so successful. Like, me and her both were like, yeah, we're definitely doing this again. It was great.
Goody gives special thanks to the student workers in the Office of Student Engagement. Quote, "No event we put on would be possible without them," end quote.
They truly pour into me as I pour into them. My mission and goal when I am in my role, whether it's mentorship, but I want to pour into the students what was poured into me while I was attending Georgia College and State University as a student.
Reporting for GC360, I'm Josh Galiff. Back to you.
We can finally say that fall's in the air. Let's take a look at this week's upcoming weather with Madelyn Agostini. Madelyn?
Thanks, Haley. Now that it's October, we're met with the time of year when you need a jacket in the morning, but sunscreen in the afternoon. Let's see what we're working with this week. Tomorrow, we'll jumpstart the weekend with partly cloudy skies, a high of 79 and a low of 57. Perfect temperature to enjoy First Friday and meet the Bobcats in downtown Milledgeville, where you might even see some familiar faces. I know I'll be there. On Saturday, we've got some overcasting clouds in the sky with a high of 78 and a low of 60. I'll be cheering for our volleyball team at 3 p.m. during their region game against Middle Georgia State University. Go Bobcats! Let's take it to Sunday, where we'll see some more clouds with a chance of light rain that's going to continue throughout the week, with a high of 76 and a low of 65. so make sure you pack your umbrellas. You don't want to get caught in the rain. Monday's looking gloomy with some more rain, a high of 77 and a low of 65. Prime time for me to head to the library and start studying for my midterms. Tuesday's a little warmer with a high of 80 and it's still with showers and a low of 63. But don't worry, the sun will come out tomorrow. Wednesday greets us with the sun in the sky, a high of 82 and a low of 63. Not exactly fall weather, but a little sunshine never hurt anyone. Finally, on Thursday, we're reunited with the rain with a high of 80 and a low of 61. That's all I have for the weather this week. Make sure you get outside and enjoy the vitamin D while you can. And have a great week, Bobcats. I'm Madelyn Agostini. Back to you.
Whether you're preparing for your first interview or setting up for an internship, UGA graduate Alice James provided members with expert advice. The Marketing Club welcomed her with open arms, ears, and notebooks. She shared real-world insight to help eager marketing students get ahead. Lucy DeBouchier got an insider look.
GCSU's Marketing Club hosted UGA graduate Alice James from Tektronic Industries to give their students advice on resumes, internships, and professionalism.
So graduating from UGA, I'm from Georgia, so I've kind of been in the school community regardless of it being UGA or GCSU. But being a post-grad and working for TTI now, it's great to have the opportunity to come to different campuses outside of UGA. Although I also support UGA with TTI on campus, being the lead for GCSU is something that's unique to me that I don't do at UGA. So we have a lot of great people that come through GCSU, and being able to work for TTI after post-grad, is a great opportunity that we see a lot of GCSU students come through.
The Marketing Club provides many great tools students can use to further their careers and learn more about marketing.
Hi, my name is Melissa Antrim. I'm president of Marketing Club at Georgia College. Marketing Club really helps students with their careers because we are a collegiate chapter of American Marketing Association, and through that organization we can help students connect to professional networking, guest speakers, also events that allow people to meet one another and just meet students with the same major. So a lot of networking, a lot of connecting people with others so that in the future, if they're doing something that they would be interested in, that they can connect and help them out with their jobs in the future.
Guest speaker Alice James gave students insightful advice when it comes to tackling their post-grad careers.
Yeah, I think just the biggest takeaway would just be that it's totally okay to not know what you want to do post-grad, and when you are looking for a company to join post-grad, you should find a company that gives you that flexibility and gives you the opportunity to take the time that you need to figure it out, because no one's going to get it right on the first try.
Alice James' closing remarks left Marketing Club students thinking ahead about their own careers. This is Lucy DeBouchier reporting for GC360.
Coming up on GC360 after the break.
A Georgia College mass communication student directed her own horror film, but she's not alone.
The Department of Chemistry recently hosted a fun and engaging way for kids to test their forensic skills. All this and more after the break.
So the costume department does a lot of different things. It helps teach our theater majors what costuming is for theater in general and for film. A lot of students come in to be theater majors not knowing that tech is going to have to be part of their major, and they don't know how to sew, they don't know how a costume shop works, and so that's my job to teach them. Most of the time they take the skills they learn in here and then they apply it to their life. And I hear all the time that they come in and they're like, Kathleen, I sewed a button on my pants because you taught me how to do it. And it just makes me feel good. But yes, they do take what they learn in here and apply it to their personal life.
It's been a roller coaster of events in the entertainment world this week. A small sneak peek, it includes some exciting Super Bowl announcements and celebrations from our favorite celebrity couples. But don't take it from me. Here with the juicy details is Reagan Sims. Take it away.
That's right, Haley. First up, football fans and music lovers unite with the announcement of Bad Bunny headlining the Super Bowl halftime show. I'm sure we can expect high energy, global beats, and maybe even guest stars. And love is in the air this week for one of Hollywood's favorite couples. Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco tied the knot this week after being engaged for 9 months. Fans everywhere are celebrating alongside them. Congrats to the happy couple. Speaking of celebrations, Rihanna and A$AP Rocky are celebrating the birth of their new baby girl, Rocky Irish Mayers, and the couple continues to taunt us with rumors of their marriage. Last Saturday, after his short suspension, Jimmy Kimmel made his return to late-night television. Viewers showed up with 6 million people watching his return monologue, quickly making it one of the most viewed of his career. Of course, not all news is upbeat. Yesterday, world-renowned ethologist and pioneer in chimpanzee research, Jane Goodall, died at 91 years old. It was a peaceful moment as she passed away in her sleep. Goodall spent over 60 years studying social behaviors of chimpanzees. She will be deeply missed. Finally, after 19 years together, Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban have decided to split. The longtime couple has announced their separation, leaving fans stunned but supportive. That's all I have this week's entertainment. And might I say, it's been quite a week. Back to you.
Scenes, Scripts, and Screams, a GCSU student has a story that is just getting started. With a short film to set it off, she's proving that the horror genre has a home at GCSU. Makai Escobar has a closer look on her process.
Today I'm joined by Allison Doster, a junior here at GCSU, who over the summer directed a horror short film with the assistance of GCSU students and professors.
I started making this short film in one of my film writing classes. It was just kind of a small project in class, and my professor, Michael Cruz, came to me after class and was just like, hey, if you really, like this story, then we can totally develop it and make it into a short film. And I was just really beyond excited for that, so I was really excited to start that process.
Every film has impact and meaning. Here's Allison's take on what she wants to convey to her audience through her short film.
The ways that I build suspense is through pauses. I like to take some pauses and just kind of let the audience take a second and look at the monster or whatever they're looking at, and just kind of taking a second, building up that music to just kind of get your heart racing a bit to build that suspense.
After being on set, here's what Allison had to say about her experience.
It was just a really cool experience to have that, and also to work with professors that I look up to as writers and directors. So overall, it was just honestly an amazing experience that I will not take for granted. So I'm very happy about that.
Be on the lookout for Girls Night Out coming soon. It's been Makai Scarborough with GC360.
Someone trashed President Cox's office, and kids from the surrounding area were tasked to investigate this case. Forensics Nights provided a fun and educational events for kids to become real-life detectives. Della Goines is on the case to see what these detectives found.
On Tuesday, September 30th, in the Integrated Science Building, the Georgia College Department of Chemistry hosted a mistaken identity mystery event, which allowed local Milledgeville kids to put their forensic skills to use. I spoke to chemistry major Alex Tokos about the event and what the kids will experience when they step foot into the ISC.
So the event is planned around a storyline, and this specific storyline is about who trashed Kathy Cox's office. And so what we do is we go through different labs and we rule out different suspects, and at the end we have a final suspect. So they'll do different types of labs in order to do that.
The event began when forensics was added as a concentration in 2021 and has continued annually as a way for forensic students to test their skills on the other side of forensics and plan out a mystery case.
It's definitely more of a fun thing about forensic chemistry. Obviously, we can't go too deep into detail of what we're doing because the kids are young. But we're hoping for basic UV vis skills like measuring absorbance and HPLC, so matching pens to ink and matching fingerprints as well.
I asked Professor of Chemistry Dr. Medawala about why the event is important for the forensics department as well as the community.
Yes, bring in the community, make them aware of, forensic chemistry and what type of analysis do we do and those sorts of things. And also giving our students, a chance to interact with the community and showcase their talents.
The chemistry department plans to continue hosting the Forensic Mystery Night annually and welcomes any visitors that want to solve their case.
Next year, we will also be hosting an annual Forensics Night, so if you want to invite your children ages 6 to 12, you're welcome to come.
Just said, next year, make sure to come and visit us at Forensic Night.
Reporting for GC360, I'm Della Goines.
Despite Georgia's heartbreaking loss to Alabama, we still have all your sports needs right here on GC360. Anchor Bradley Smith has the latest.
Thanks, Natalie. The Georgia Bulldogs suffered an upset against Alabama this past weekend. With a strong lead in the first half, the Crimson Tide finished a 24-21 lead, making a third consecutive win against Georgia, as well as marking the end to Georgia's historic 33 consecutive wins at home. Their last home defeat was in 2019. Even if we're Bobcats, our hearts go out to the Dogs. In other news, the Minnesota Wilds dealt their biggest contract in NHL history to all-star left-wing player Kirill Kaprizov. AP reports that Kaprizov will receive $136 million over the next 8 years, surpassing previous record holder Alex Ovechkin's $124 million. I wish some of that money could go towards my tuition. In recent MLB news, Atlanta Braves' Brian Snitker will not be returning as the team's manager. After 49 years with the organization, he will step down for next season. He will be taking on an advisor position, and then will be inducted into the Braves Hall of Fame in 2026. During his time with his team, Snitker won the 2021 World Series and had 7 consecutive playoff appearances. Heading on back to good old Milledgeville, the women's volleyball team beat Lander University this past Friday. With a great first start in the first 2 rounds, the Bobcats won 3-2 against the South Carolina team. Speaking of this past Friday, the men's cross-country team came through with a second-place finish at the Bobcat Invitational. Over the 8K Bobcat course, standout runner Shipley Smith achieved the 5th place with an average mile of 5 minutes and 21 seconds. It's always good to see our Bobcats make big wins at home. Finally, Bobcat tennis heads for the Gridiron Classic at Mercer. For games closer to home, come show out to the women's soccer against USC Beaufort on Saturday. The women's volleyball team is also hosting numerous games at home, including Saturday with Middle Georgia State, Tuesday with Fort Valley State, and Thursday with Shorter. So come out and show your school spirit. That's all for sports. Back to you, anchors.
That's all for GC360 this week, Bobcats. Look out for us at tomorrow's First Friday event. It's your chance to be on next week's episode by answering a fun question or getting the chance to anchor by asking us questions. Thank you for joining us today, and make sure you tune in next Thursday at 4 p.m. on NBC TV through the CableCast app. I'm Haley Tucker.
And I'm Natalie Ross. When we're not on the air, we keep you up to date on our social media. That's at GC360 News on Instagram and YouTube, and at bobcatmultimedia.com/GC360. Always available to you, where news comes full circle. See you next week.